All right, welcome to another Q&A session. You've got questions on entrepreneurship, social media marketing agency, my personal life, and I answer them. So without further ado, let's go right into it. First question from Alessandro. What and how many services do you offer for your ecom clients? So this is an important question, a question that I get quite a lot. And the main thing that you need to understand is that I never have more than one flagship service. And my flagship service is always paid ads, right? It can also be email marketing, but it has to be a revenue-driven service that is irresistible, that can really drive a pitch. Other services like CRO, like ad creatives, right? They are a supplement to a flagship offer, right? So they only supplement and make the flagship offer better. And so you don't want to offer any of these smaller services like CRO, ad creatives, chatbots, or anything like that as your flagship offer, simply because it doesn't carry enough weight. However, once I get them through the door with my flagship offer, once they can see that we're getting them incredible results, that we know our shit, that we're making them a lot of money, we start adding value. We start giving them free consultations on certain things of the ecom funnel, right? Like their landing page, like email marketing, like ad creatives, right? And then the pitch of these smaller services becomes very easy. So we can cross-sell them to whether it's email marketing, whether it's chatbots, whether it's CRO, whatever it is, right? Really, my go-tos are number one, email marketing, undisputed, right? So number one, email marketing after obviously my flagship offer, paid ads. One, email marketing. Then we do a bit of CRO and landing page optimization. And then the third one is ad creative. So those are typically the services that I cross-sell once I have them through the door with my flagship offer. Next question, for your very first client, did you run ads yourself or hired a media buyer? I hired a media buyer, right? Because when I started out, I wasn't an expert when it came to ads, nor did I try to be one because I knew that would really, really slow me down. Obviously in acquiring these media buying skills, which I know I didn't really need to grow an agency. And number two, because I had to focus my attention solely on revenue generating activities like reaching out to people, right? Like building systems, like creating an ecosystem where people wanted to work at. Now I'm at a point where I run ads for my own ecom brands, but also for clients, right? I don't run the majority of the ads. I have media buyers that do that for me, but yeah, I hired a media buyer. That's the short answer. How to get your first ecom client? The first thing that you want to do is you need to pick a sub niche within the ecom space, right? I'm tired of saying this, but you need to narrow down because competition is for losers. And so you don't want to go head to head with other more established ecom agencies in a bigger space, okay? You want to make sure that you pick a narrow sub niche within the ecom space, and then go ahead and create an irresistible offer by picking your specific flagship service. I have this proprietary system in my mentorship called the hybrid ecom service model, where I show you how to pick a flagship service, then how to pick your cross sells, and then how to set up your service ecosystem so that it becomes an irresistible offer, and it's super hard for them to say no to that. And the final thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you put together your sales funnels. So whether it's, for example, I have my automated sales funnel, right? Whether it's a profile funnel on social media where there's a content that does a lot of the speaking for you and you have clients coming to you, right? So really those would be the three main steps: sub niche, service offer, and that is irresistible. And thirdly, making sure that you have sales funnels in place that can book you meetings predictably. Cool. How do you find prospects that you can charge 3 to 5K per month? So the first thing is, Sebastian, most ecom clients have pretty decent profit margins. We're talking about 50, 60, 70, even 80% I've seen, right, in the space, which means they can already afford higher retainer fees, right? Especially compared to something like local business. A lot of people who are used to the local business fixed fees and retainers, they see 3 or 5K per month as a massive thing, whereas in e-commerce, that's kind of like really the average, right? Now, having said this, I always get questions on how I'm able to generate, 10K plus per month retainers from clients. And the reason why I'm able to do that is because a lot of the money comes from the ad profit deals, right? So the great thing about e-commerce is that you can charge a percentage of the ad profit, a percentage of what you make them with the ads. And that grows month on month, pretty much passively, not with extra effort, as you increase the ad spend, what you spend for them with ads. Because if you spend more, you can make them more money, right? And if you can make them more money, you take more money home. Make sense? So that's how we can generate those 3 to 5K per month retainers. So how do you find these prospects? Honestly, they're all over the ecom space. Like it's a hard question, but it's really across every single niche that you can find these prospects that you can have a percentage of the ad profit and generate these type of returns. And you can even have 3 to 5K per month as fixed fees. Next question is, what career did you study? I studied civil engineering in London. There's a uni called, I don't know if I should talk about my uni ever, but whatever. It's a uni called UCL, University College London. So I was going there for civil engineering, and then I dropped out after the first year. So that's what I studied, and that's a bit about my background, my engineering background, if you're interested. And the final question is, how did you find the boldness, self-belief to decide to do all these things? So this is a question that I commonly get, and what I would say is, I didn't really find boldness or self-belief. Self-belief is something that's built progressively over time, and I think self-belief just comes from setting yourself certain goals, telling yourself you're going to do something and sticking to your word and showing up every single day, right? And that allows you to build confidence in yourself because you're sticking to your word. You said something and you did it, and you showed up, and come hell or high water, you got it done. So that's really the first thing. The second thing is you have to do things, right? So you have to try stuff. You have to put things on your plate when you are young, right? Or even if you're like 30, 40, but especially when you're young, people put stuff on your plate, right? So we go to school and we're given homework, right? And we're told what to do. So you need to do this, or you need to do this assignment, this essay, and you have this exam by this date, right? So you gotta do stuff. And so the problem with that is that we're so used to only doing things when it's required from us. And that is a pretty poor mindset to have, right? And so you almost need to force yourself to put more stuff on your plate when you're starting out. As you begin to scale and as you begin to grow, it's all about removing stuff and finding ways to delegate, eliminate, or automate. But when you're starting out, you need to do stuff. You need to try things, right? It doesn't mean having shiny object syndrome, right? Just try an agency and then after a month, you're like, no, let me try drop shipping, right? No, it means sticking to things, but having the guts to try things. Whether it's like even a new sport, or just like, I don't know, starting an agency, or I don't know, creating your first video, whatever it is, right? You need to get comfortable trying things. And the reason why I say that is because as you start doing things, you start getting a few small wins under your belt, right? So you start building this self-confidence because, I don't know, you started your agency and now you're booking meetings. Someone actually paid you money, right? And so it gives you this extra confidence. You made that video that you wanted to do, or whatever it is, right? And that just starts building a lot of self-confidence. Very confident people are not born confident, right? The confidence is built by the small wins that they get, right? Until those small wins leading to a big win, and then the confidence increases again. And so it's this constant progression. And then the final thing, especially on the boldness side of things, how did I develop this boldness? It's actually not rocket science, and I don't consider myself different at all. It was just thinking of the alternative. What's the alternative of not doing this, right? Of not dropping out, of not starting my business, of not working towards my dream. What's the alternative? Living a life that I don't like, living a life where I'm not happy, living a life that is not fulfilling to me, living a life that's not on my terms, right? Living a life where I don't have financial time, location freedom, where I cannot take care of myself nor my family, living a life where I cannot travel to the places I want to travel, living a life where I cannot afford the things I want to afford, living a life where I cannot live in the place I want to live, right? And so I didn't want to have restrictions on my life because we only really get one. So yeah, that's kind of, that was a big part of the reason, which was, what's the alternative really? Like if you sit down and think about it, what's the alternative of not doing this, of not working hard at it and trying to be successful with this online business thing? Like what's the alternative, right? It's not harder. I can definitely show you that. And it's definitely not as painful as going to a job you hate every single day, right? And so, the alternative is definitely not great. And so when you realize that, you're like, let me actually try this thing because the alternative is so incredibly poor, right? Now, do some people like the alternative, or are some people completely comfortable with the alternative? Yes, 100%. Like there's certain people that are just wired in a way where they seek comfort, right? And to an extent, I think humans are wired, to seek comfort. But at the end of the day, comfort is way less important for me than fulfillment and being happy. So yeah, I'll shut up now, but those are the questions for this video. Definitely probably a bit of a shorter one, but I really hope you guys enjoyed those answers. If you did, drop a massive thumbs up, help shut it down with the algorithm, the whole channel. I really appreciate it. Speaking of channel, if you haven't subbed yet, there's so much content coming out. We're pretty much posting 100% every single day, sometimes twice per day, sometimes 3 times per day. So there's a lot of content on SMMA, building an ecom agency, e-commerce growth, etc., on this channel. And you certainly don't want to miss it. And if you're interested in learning from me directly, you can go ahead and click the link in the description to apply for my mentorship. Definitely not for everyone, but if you're interested, the link is in the description. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.